$15.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the big show. This is Investing and Trading Live. Once again, new week, new market. It is a new day. My name is Josh Lilquist. We've got an action-packed show for you here today. Actually, a special crypto episode for you here today. We've been talking a lot about on the podcast for several weeks, quite frankly, probably just over a year if you go into the archives. And we've been talking a lot about this Helium token and Helium Mobile, this 5G cell service that I've been talking a lot about in the past several months. That's what we're going to discuss here today. We will do a quick market update at the end, and we'll talk about where the market is at, how the market ended last week, and what we see moving forward. But I do have a guest with me as well. He is once in a while a repeat offender. He is the one and the only Luke Young. How you doing, Luke?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. How do you like the intro? Are you the one and the only, do you think?
It's Luke's a very common name, but I guess on your show, one and only.
There you go. You're the one and the only, and thank God, right? Anyways, so there's a couple things I want to discuss with you. So I've been talking a lot about this Helium token on the show, and you have a pretty good idea on what it is. You know, we've been mining this token for a while, or Helium Mobile is what it is. I just want to talk a little bit about the crypto market and your insight on what's going on with cryptocurrencies maybe in general, but specifically Helium and 5G cell service.
Well, I think it's a company that came out with a great idea. Instead of having like cell towers and stuff, you basically allow people to have these little miners in their house connected to their Wi-Fi. It's kind of like mini cell towers all around. So it should be a great product if it works out, and it offers fast internet for people using their service.
Yeah, they call it the People's Network is what they call it. It's IoT is part of it, but Helium token and Helium Mobile is 5G cell service. Now, if you go and look, and as we're talking here, I'll just HELIUM token. So it's 5G cell service, and they have now introduced this as a pilot. They started in Miami, and that's been going up the coast in Florida. And what it is, it's essentially it's cell service from the people. So as Luke is talking about, there are cell towers or units, we'll call it, that's providing cell service in people's homes or wherever they have them. We have several of them now, and it's providing coverage is what it is. And what happens is you're mining cryptocurrency that way. You're mining Helium Mobile tokens. So that being said, you're getting an X amount of mobile tokens per day. Now, what's been happening this past month has been pretty almost unheard of, Luke. It's really amazing how this Helium token and Helium Mobile token has really shot up. But let's just start with the mobile token. So the mobile token, basically, I'm going to just give you the definition. This is by Microsoft Bing of what Helium Network is. So the Helium Network token, HNT, is the native cryptocurrency of the Helium Network and is the only token that can be burned to create data credits and send device data. Subnetwork tokens, IoT and mobile, are backend and redeemed for HNT, which is Helium. There is no pre-mine of HNT and max supply of 223 million HNT. So you're providing cell services. So it's the only one that actually can create data credits and send data device, or device data was what it is. So which is pretty cool. So that being said, Luke, just explain a little bit about the evolution, let's just say just the last month of the Helium Mobile token that's been mined.
It's just so cool to kind of be a part of the whole thing because, I learn something new about it every day. When you sit there and explain to someone, like if you're at a bar or a restaurant, they kind of look at you like you got four heads.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is.
So you got to keep it simple and just, it's a great idea that's working out. And we should probably give Cam Kaiser out in Denver some credit, the crypto guru we call him. But just seeing this thing go nationwide, I think they got a $20 unlimited a month plan.
$20 for nationwide, correct?
Yeah, if a company like this could compete in a way with, like AT&T or Verizon or Sprint, as their market cap goes up, the value of their digital currency will go up as well, and that's kind of what we were hoping for from the beginning.
Yeah, by the way, they are partnered with T-Mobile.
Yeah, so they are. And, as T-Mobile grows too, this will grow, and just like anything else, over time it'll be awesome to see it.
So just to give some insight on this, current price of Helium Mobile is 0.0071, which doesn't sound like a whole lot. But when you're mining, in the Genesis phase, it was providing 15,000 mobile tokens per day per unit. So if you can imagine over a course of a year how that can add up. Now looking at the increase so that being said, it doesn't sound like very much. Now let's backtrack a little bit. Current percent gain in the past month is 2,400% gain in the last month. Now in this crypto market, this stuff happens, but it is kind of a shoot and stick type thing. You don't know if it's going to actually work. This could go back down to 0.00039, where it was about a month ago. So it's one of those things where it's, as Luke's talking about, it's a kind of a cool little project to be a part of, but I don't see this going anywhere because cell service is going to be around forever. You would assume anyway. And if you get mass adoption to this, you get the public seeing, okay, hey, I can get same coverage, or maybe even better coverage because there's all these cell units devices going up everywhere for $20 a month. It's kind of a no-brainer. I mean,
there's such a positive backstory with it. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm invested in this random cryptocurrency.
It's not like Shiba or Dogecoin or anything silly like that.
It has a real reason behind it.
Yeah, it's an actual project. So for those of you that want to understand more about this Helium Mobile, you can just go to CoinMarketCap, and there's information on it. You can read the white paper in there. The white paper is basically what the project is, what it does, and that's what cryptocurrency is really projects that are solving some sort of problem. So that's pretty cool with this mobile token. Now, anything to add on mobile before we go to the HNT?
Yeah, so the mobile, you mentioned it would pay us 13,000 coins a day. That was for a limited time only. That was kind of as an incentive to get their miners, get their cell towers in your...
Yeah, that was the Genesis period.
Yeah, so that has stopped now. So now you just get rewarded on people using your system.
Providing coverage. It's called proof of coverage is what it is, which is really cool. And matter of fact, we just got a few more of those units, which is pretty cool. This, by the way, this is no plug for Helium token or anything, but hey, hopefully Helium's listening and we get a little exposure from them. So if Helium Mobile, if you're listening, let's talk. We got some info for you. Anyways, let's go to HNT. So HNT is the actual token for Helium. This particular token, since November, let's just start with November 2nd till current price today, is up 426%. So, and what's cool is you would swap your mobile tokens into Helium. There's a process to it to do all that, and that's kind of, I think, what keeps people away from crypto too. I saw the stat the other day. It was right around 20% of people in the world are actually invested in crypto. Is it world or U.S.? I can't remember. 20% doesn't sound like much, does it? So, any thoughts on Helium token? Because this one hasn't moved up as much as the mobile. So, I mean, is this lagging? And do you think that we'll see a pop in Helium token? Because as you get more mass adoption and exposure, that's a possibility. What's your thoughts on that?
I think just like any crypto, it kind of mirrors obviously what Bitcoin does. So, you got all the talk around them making Bitcoin an ETF, which would be ultimately huge for all cryptos.
Bigly is what they like to call it.
Because you get banks that are allowed to invest in Bitcoin legally, and if they aren't already doing it, or mutual funds maybe adding it to their portfolio. But we'll see. It's kind of one of those things. You just let it grow, and it mirrors Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin at right now?
Well, Bitcoin currently is at 41,353, but going from that same time period of November 2nd, current price or percent gain with Bitcoin is only 23%. So it is going up, but at a different rate is what it is. And they will never be exact. But that being said, the crypto market has really been, over the past month and a half, has really been exploding. So that's good for crypto investors. That being said, it hadn't been good for many, many moons. So another coin so this is a coin that I've been following for a while. I actually have a little bit of it. It's SAMO coin. And this is really one of those, as Luke was talking about earlier, it doesn't really have a case of use. So this one here, since November, is up about 500%. So these things move very fast, up and down. So manage your risk accordingly. I didn't give the disclaimer at the beginning, but there is risk in trading and investing. You can't lose money at one point in your life. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only, mainly mine. But hopefully you find it entertaining as well. So, yeah, that SAMO coin is up pretty good too. So some big moves in the crypto market. Anything else you want to add on the crypto market before we get into the kind of the overall market?
No, just I kind of wanted to reemphasize I'm learning something new every day. I'm looking at it or reading something. It's so cool to see everything grow in that space.
Yep. And what's nice about it is it's an actual project. It's not one of those pump and dumps like Shiba or Dogecoin, all that garbage that's out there. But that being said, there's potential money to be made there. But yeah, that's not something you want to bet the farm on. All right, let's get into the S&P 500. Quick update here. So S&P 500 currently up on the day, gapped up. We're about 0.5% up on the day. It's 471.69. Dow Jones 373.09. That's up as well, 0.12%. This one gapped up as well, but we've been seeing some weakness coming out of the open. And the QQQ, which is your NASDAQ, looks like didn't really gap up on the day, but is up 0.2% on the day. IWM up 0.3% on the day. This one also gapped up, but showing some weakness, just like the Dow. So it looks like the S&P and the NASDAQ are somewhat mirroring each other. The Dow and the IWM are kind of on the same path as well. We'll get into volatility is up today. By the way, currently it's 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Market's been open for about an hour. So with this current state of the market, Luke, we're getting near all-time highs again. I want to say the Dow, I want to just double check here, is at all-time highs right now. So we've surpassed the highs from January or December of 2021. Qs are right at it. The S&Ps are right at it. The IWM is lagging behind a little bit. Do you see this market really making the all-time highs and continuing to this upside, or do you might see a potential pullback?
So I want to make it clear that whatever I say right now, Josh will love this. My opinion does not matter. But
that being said, the UPS one we talked about a couple months ago.
UPS has come back.
Check the archives on that one.
That was a good one. But markets are designed to go up. Personally, I'm still very bearish on the entire market. I just, everything going on in the economy. That being said, the chart right now looks great. It turned from what was a downtrend into a possible uptrend. So you could maybe start it getting back into some of these things at a lower price. But we'll see.
What was interesting last week is, so the Magnificent Seven, the Meta, the Nvidias, Teslas, Apples, they have been in the Googles. They've been running the market for a long time. Last week, I forget what day it was, the market was up, but the major Magnificent Seven, a lot of those were down pretty big on the day, which was very interesting to see. So does that tell you the overall stock market is actually starting to get strong again? What do you think?
I don't know, because I think a lot of those like smaller cap stocks and medium cap companies, I think they're kind of lagging behind because if you look at their returns on the year, I mean, some of them are sideways to slightly up. Nothing like what the S&P has done. So a lot of people think that those Magnificent Seven.
That's a tough word to say.
Yeah,
isn't
it is. They think that those 7 companies are holding up the market, and it didn't look like that the other day. So again, it's something we'll have to see. A lot of times at the end of the year, too, around the holidays, the market naturally goes up.
Yeah, the Santa Claus rally, which is actually the last couple days into the first couple days of the year.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll start to see in the new year, what will happen. So
yeah,
something to just keep an eye on.
Yeah, you had a tough time saying the Magnificent Seven as well. I always do. It's kind of like my good friend Will Ferrell, Francisco. That's fun to say.
Yeah, we should go to speech class for that word.
There you go.
It's 10 hours of it.
There you go. That'll help us out. All right. So, any stocks that you're looking at these days? Anything that comes to mind? I know we talked a lot about Target a while back. We did some options back on it back in October. Coming right out of that demand zone, we're at about a 2-to-1 out of there right now. I don't know if you did any options or opportunities with Target at that point, but any stocks you're looking at?
None in particular.
None in particular. Okay, how about... So I want to go back to UPS. So if you check out the archives back from... And I'll look at the chart here because I marked it.
It has come back a lot in the past 2 weeks.
Not much, though. I mean, it's not as much... Okay, so I think it was back in July we were talking about it, and it just dropped like a freight train straight down. And you said it would go down. I said it would go up. So Luke was correct on that one. So it went down from the highs in July.
Wait, what'd you say?
I can't repeat it. It's just not in my blood. It was down about 30%, but as he was talking about the last since the end of October, it's back up 22%. So, that being said, I might overall in the long term be right. I just I was incorrect at the wrong time. So, that being said, that's your UPS update. Currently at 163.10. Target was at currently right now. Target is at.
For those of you listening, only ship your packages with FedEx. Do not use UPS.
Yeah. Target's currently at 137.79. FedEx, since he has mentioned FedEx, is on a tear. From the lows of September, that stock is up 100%.
It looks like a crypto chart right there.
It kind of does, yeah. So that's a quick update on the stock market. I just want to look at gold and silver right quick because we talk about that every day. Gold is currently up ever so slightly, just over $2,022.44, and silver $23.79 respectively. So looking good for those gold and silver physical holders. I have some as well. I like that. So that being said, anything else? Any last words for the audience here before we kind of close it out for the day?
Always have a plan before you get into something. I'm just going to leave it at that. You always trade with a stop and a target.
Which is risk management. And that's the name of the game. If you want longevity in the financial markets, have an entry point, have an exit point, have a plan to do that before you get your investment, and you will hopefully see more consistency because of that. As always, collect your profits when they're given to you and protect your losses, keeping them small. Until next time, retire young, my friends.